This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Ray Collins. June the 20th, and you knew it was going to happen. When you heard Scalzi's voice yesterday, you knew this was possible.
I know. His voice sounded horrible. Poor thing.
I know. So guess what? We've got forecaster Wendy Ross here. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning. And it is one of those hot, muggy mornings already. We're starting to feel the heat out there. We are looking at fair skies, believe it or not, at the airport. But we do have some rain located offshore, and some places have already started to see some sprinkles around the region. We do have a 77-degree reading right now. The humidity is high. The winds are coming in out of the east and at 11 miles per hour. So as you can see, we've got some showers, some thunderstorms located offshore, a couple of showers through the Port Charlotte area, but most of that rain is just moving on towards the north. It's very light and it continues to move northward. We'll let you know what we can expect for the rest of the day in just a little bit. Ray, Jack.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, Wendy. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
There's the roads right now. State Road 70 showing some buildup in the eastbound lane as you cross over 301. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County. Sarasota County, no problems to report. Maybe a little thing there at Stickney Point as you head toward the beach. Nothing much, though. And then South County, all clear at 5:02 on this Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this morning, the hunt continues for two armed robbers in Sarasota.
Amazing video here. The pair held up Memories Lounge on the North Trail over the weekend. And as Rick Adams tells us, it was all caught on videotape.
A fun time turned frightening for the staff and customers at Memories Lounge on Tamiami Trail in Sarasota. Two men armed with a rifle and a shotgun stormed into the bar early Sunday morning around 1:30, demanding money from the bartender. Stephen Acker is one of the owners of Memories Lounge. He was behind the bar getting change for a customer when this horrifying ordeal took place.
One of the bartenders came up to me with his hands up and said that we were being robbed.
At that time, there was loud music playing, so only a few of the dozens of people in the lounge saw what was going on. The many surveillance cameras on premises did pick up everything.
It's scary. Your blood starts pumping. You're trying to constantly think, what can I do, what can I do? And the best thing to do is let it happen. Let them take the money.
The armed robbers ran off with hundreds of dollars in cash and 2 bottles of alcohol. Fortunately, no one was injured. The pair of suspects are described as black males between 25 and 35 years old. The first suspect is between 5 feet 8 inches and 5 feet 10 inches tall with a muscular build, and he was last seen wearing a black beanie cap, gray hoodie, and black shorts. The second suspect is around 6 feet tall with a thin build. He was last seen wearing a black hoodie and black long pants.
As you can see in the video, they go in without even hesitating. They go straight directly behind the bar with a rifle and with a shotgun and go right up to the bartender without even hesitating. And so because of that, just because of their manner, because they are considered armed and dangerous, we want to get these guys off the street.
And if you know anything about this armed robbery, you're being asked to call Sarasota Police immediately. Reporting from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
If you recognize those robbers, call the police at 366-8000.
New details this morning on a crash involving a pickup truck and a scat bus that happened on Sunday night. Sarasota police say the bus was attempting to make a left-hand turn from South Tuttle onto Bay Vista when the truck hit the back corner of the bus. The driver of that truck was trapped, but firefighters were able to get him out and he was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Several passengers on the bus were also injured and taken to SMH. Police say they have not yet determined who was at fault as the crash is still under investigation.
A shootout in broad daylight Monday on US 301 in Newtown. Police say a group of men in 2 cars began shooting at each other about 3:30 p.m. The cars turned into a parking lot where more shots were fired. Nobody was injured, but police say one business was hit by bullets. Police say there's at least 2 men in each car. Now the search is underway for those cars. Involved a white Toyota Camry with graphite rims and dark windows, also a 2012 or newer gold Chevy Malibu with dark windows as well. On to a much different type of shooting now in Lakewood Ranch. The Ancient Oak Gun Club is shutting down after 4 years in business. The outdoor shooting range will close next week. The property will be used for agricultural purposes until future development plans are finalized. That gun range recently hosted the Florida State Sporting Clays Championship.
And speaking of Lakewood Ranch, it's now expanding as more families will soon be moving to that area. Regional home builder Homes by Town is building the first condos in Lakewood Ranch since the Great Recession hit almost a decade ago. Waterfront at Main Street will have 76 condos in 3 different buildings. The complex will consist of a spa area, a pool, grills, and fire pits with waterfront views. The smallest condo is 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and starts at $360,000. The builder's vice president for sales and marketing says these condos are unique since they're right in the heart of Lakewood Ranch off Main Street.
The walkability of being right here, the movie theater, all the restaurants.
That first building is expected to be ready by late July. The other 2 buildings are set to be move-in ready sometime in 2018.
It's 5:06 right now. The trial for a Bradenton man accused of killing a toddler is now underway in Manatee County. Richard Williams was arrested in 2015. Manatee County Sheriff deputies say he was babysitting an 18-month-old boy while the child's mother was at work. When she came home, she noticed her son had problems breathing and took him to the hospital where he later died. Deputies say an autopsy revealed injuries consistent with child abuse and the death was ruled a homicide.
A sergeant with the Sarasota Police Department is being honored for his work on the Suncoast. Sergeant Robert Armstrong is receiving the 16th District Congressional Law Enforcement Award from Congressman Vern Buchanan. He was chosen for his leadership, dedication, and hard work with the department's Street Crimes Unit and Prostitution Diversion Program. As part of that program, he traveled across Florida to train other departments and nonprofits to recognize and address human trafficking. Armstrong also won that award back in 2015. Meanwhile, in Venice, a classroom goes up in flames as part of a training exercise for fire rescue crews. The Venice Fire Department held training at the Venice Fire Academy off of Pine Brook Road. Firefighters burned a portable classroom as part of that exercise. The smoke lasted in that area for about a few hours after the training, but it is clear this morning.
The city of Northport looking for feedback from residents. In a partnership with the National Research Center, the city has mailed out 2,000 invitations for people to fill out a survey. The survey focuses on community living, quality of life, safety, and services. The results will be analyzed and help the city identify priorities, goals, and set budgets as well. Well, that drought in Florida is now long gone. It's being replaced by a heavy dose of rain.
That's right. And with all that rain, we'll most likely see an increase in mosquitoes. I know I sure have.
Yep.
Sarasota County has been using a new spraying system in some areas, but it's a system that our Dwayne Lindo tells us has some residents upset.
Mosquito season is in full effect across the state, and now Mosquito Control has green-lighted a project that they say will make it safer and more efficient to spray Sarasota County.
I've made it so that they have a controller inside the vehicle, and they pull it out of the back of the vehicle and are able to spray it from the backside of the truck.
Technician Norm Mosley came up with what he calls a better system, and his boss happens to agree.
The old system of driving not only in the incorrect lane but also spraying with a handheld spray gun out the window is not only, in my opinion, unsafe, it's a really outdated way of doing it when we have so many better options at our disposal.
But some Northport residents have doubts with this new system, saying it needs to go through more of a vetting process. One person opposed to it says trying to adjust a joystick and look at the road causes distracted driving. And with 2 technicians in each truck, there are also concerns that less ground will be covered and large areas will not be sprayed. Director of Sarasota Mosquito Management, Matt Smith, says the system has gone through the vetting process and will not lead to a decrease in service anywhere in the county. He also says the organization is taking steps to make the process more organized and efficient while serving the whole county. The plans include spraying larvicide and using planes as well, studying data, looking where mosquitoes are and aren't.
So we are literally always looking forwards, looking ahead, trying to change the game and change it for the better.
Dwayne Lindo, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
The director now says this system is here to stay. There are still some extensive tests going on, but he does anticipate a full standard operating procedure to be completed by the end of this summer.
A follow-up now on a plan to make Sarasota a healthier city. Commissioners have voted unanimously to join the Sierra Club's Ready for 100 initiative. By doing so, they will voluntarily transition to 100% renewable energy. Under the plan, the aim for city operations to be powered by renewable energy by the year 2030 and power the entire city of Sarasota with renewable energy by 2045. Sarasota is the third city in the entire state to join this initiative. Sarasota County is close to buying the largest remaining natural property in the county. County officials say they are within a few $1 million now of purchasing 5,000 acres of the Orange Hammock Ranch area in Northport. Over 200 wetlands are mixed within the property. Also in on the purchase, the Southwest Florida Water Management District. Negotiations on a final purchase price of the property is still ongoing.
Happening today, a job fair in Sarasota is scheduled for those looking to work in the road construction field. The Florida Department of Transportation's On Board for Jobs Construction Careers program is hosting the fair from 9:30 to 11:30 this morning at the Knights of Columbus on Fruitvale Road. Those 18 and older are invited to meet with road and bridge construction contractors hiring across Southwest Florida for jobs including general labor, carpentry, paving, truck driving, and many other positions. There are also opportunities for those without experience looking for on-the-job training as well.
240 baseball teams will be on the Suncoast this week for one of the largest amateur baseball tournaments in the state, if not the country. The Wilson Premier Championship is a 3-week tournament hosted by the Baltimore Orioles for players between the ages of 15 and 17. The games are played at Twin Lakes Park and 3 practice fields also within the Ed Smith Stadium complex. Baseball tournaments, camps, and clinics hosted by the Orioles attract more than 25,000 players and spectators each year to the county. In fact, they said that the Orioles cause $89 million in annual financial impact for Sarasota County. And if you see any good pictures out there, any good sunrises or sunsets, send them our way. There's our contact numbers, mysuncoast.com, and also Facebook as well.
Yeah, we would love to see any videos you get of some of that weather that's coming through, moving through our area right now. As Wendy can tell us, there's some rainfall expected, am I right?
We are expecting rain. You know, we were talking, just weeks ago about the drought conditions, and of course, nobody's talking about drought these days.
No.
We are nice and saturated with wet weather, and of course, we'll let you know what we can expect over the next couple of hours and what's out there in the Gulf of Mexico. We've got some developments there, so we'll talk about that as well.
All right, thank you, Wendy. Still ahead, a well-kept secret that's hard to come by. Our Linda Carson will take us to a unique Suncoast museum in the latest installment of A Place We Call Home.
And next half hour, a special congressional election in Georgia has grown to be the most expensive in U.S. history. We'll tell you why at 5:34.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-747-0618. 800-747-0618. I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Well, if you haven't been outside yet, I'm just going to give you a clue. It is very, very humid, very muggy out there. And a part of the reason for all of this, of course, are our dew points. And they're just going to continue to be high. This is what we're going to be seeing today and tomorrow with these dew point levels at 74 to 75 degrees. And that's true along the west coast of Florida. And of course, we have so much moisture out there. So we've been watching the clouds and the rain. It's been developing not so much over the overnight time period. We've not seen the rain showers coming on in throughout the nighttime hours, but we're starting to pick up just a few light showers now, and they're dissipating as they move on up towards the north. But we've got plenty of cloud cover out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and of course we're just going to continue to see this stream of moisture coming on throughout the day. So right now we've got partly cloudy to mostly fair skies, but as the day continues to wear on, we're going to see all of these clouds coming on in from the south, and we've got the thunderstorms that will be developing later in the day during the afternoon and evening hours. Pretty much what we saw yesterday, we're going to see again today. So it's just going to be a repeat of that situation. So the cloudy weather is pretty much dissipating, and then we're going to start to see more clouds coming on in. We've got some more rain coming on through. That's going to be taking place throughout the day. But right now it's 77 degrees. Fair skies if you're at the airport. Our dew points at 74 degrees, our humidity at 90%. And the winds have been coming in out of the east at around 11 miles per hour. So that's helped to push some of those showers offshore. But right now across our viewing area, we have temperatures of about 79 degrees on Longboat Key, 78 on Siesta Key, and we're not really seeing much of a change anywhere around our viewing area. So 77 to 79 degrees pretty much is where we are at this point. But boy, oh boy, do we have all of this moisture. And as you can see, we've got the system that is now moved into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's really creating quite some problems across parts of central Gulf all the way over to the Panhandle. And these are the areas that really need to monitor our system that is located out in the Gulf of Mexico. So we've got all of this. It came across the Yucatan Peninsula and has now moved in. This is the system that has the potential of becoming Cindy, and it is not Cindy right now. We are looking at the system now located at 24.8 north and 90.1 west. It's moving at it's moving towards the northwest, and it's kind of wobbling at this point, 40-mile-per-hour winds, and the track is expected to bring it up through just to the west of the New Orleans area, east of Houston, and then moving on up into the central part of the country where it's going to get downgraded. But we're going to continue to watch this system as it becomes Cindy over the next couple of days. And in the meantime, we have Tropical Storm Brett, and Brett is now moving right here, and it's going to stay well to the south of Cuba. It's really not going to be a problem for Florida, but it's definitely a system we're going to continue to monitor for you anyway. If you're heading on out to the beach, we've got small craft advisories in effect today. The winds are going to be coming in out of the southeast. They're going to be strong, 15 to 20 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, and it is going to be choppy out on the bay and inland waters. The temperature at the beach will be about 86 degrees. For tonight, we've got a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms coming on through, and then for later on today, we are expecting to see a daytime high of about 87 degrees, and we've got a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. And this is going to continue for the next 24-hour period. Jacqueline.
All right, thank you so much, Wendy. Glad to have you with us today. As we take a look at traffic, looks like State Road 70 as you're heading towards 301, seeing an increase in traffic. Also 301 heading southbound. Other than that, Bradenton looking pretty clear, Manatee County looking good as we head into South Sarasota County. rather. I-75 looking clear. It looks like there is some congestion on where 41 and 301 split as we head into South County. Not a whole lot going on in that direction. Pretty quiet across the Suncoast. No accidents at 5:20 on your Tuesday morning. If you look around at all the construction in our area and wish you could go back to the old days on the Suncoast, well, guess what? You can't.
Our Linda Carson has an idea in this week's A Place We Call Home.
At the Crawley Museum and Nature Center, you step back in time to the days of the early settlers.
This is one of Florida's last jewels. This is a very well-kept secret. You'll actually see many different types of habitats that are very hard to find or experience in Florida.
We have 191 beautiful acres here, and there are very few wild places like this. So when they come out here, they really get some old Florida.
The Crawley is like a giant classroom.
We specialize in teaching both children and adults about Florida pioneer history, agriculture, sustainable living, and many other things.
You first arrive at the Welcome Center.
We have local honey behind you. We have local syrup behind you. We also have some survival items for camping out here when we have our camping programs. We also have local artisans who have handmade crafts.
The museum takes you back to the days of the cowboy who was called a Florida cracker.
The original term was cow hunters, and they did not use ropes, they used whips, which is why we have the Florida cracker, because of the cracking of the cow hunters' whips.
Those cow hunters rounded up cows, drove them to a port, and shipped them to Cuba,
where they were sold for Spanish gold. Some of the early cracker families had chests of gold in a back room someplace in their house from cattle they sold.
This is the Tatum House.
Welcome to Crawley Museum and make the dinner.
It was built in 1889 by Harvey Tatum for his wife Laura, with the help of two of her 5 children, because she was widowed before she married him.
They had 8 more children, 13 in all.
It was a farm. They raised their food, they raised their animals, they raised their vegetables. There's a big, huge loom thing in the bedroom in there. They wove some of their clothing.
This is now a popular spot for weddings, nature and wildlife programs, and much more. This is Sarah Lee. She is a Florida cracker cow. She is a direct descendant of the cows that were here when the settlers arrived. They're bred here to keep their line alive. The Crawley Nature Center and Museum, a great place to call home. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
That looks so pleasant.
Isn't that nice? I just did a Google search because I wasn't sure where it was. It's out Fruitville Road to Mayaca Road, east of the interstate. So there you go.
Have to check that out.
Nice idea for a field trip.
Exactly.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. If you'd like to buy music online, we'll tell you about a big change on the way from Apple.
And coming up at 5:30, the latest on the shooting that left a congressman and 4 others injured last week. We'll tell you what law enforcement is now saying about officers' response times. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
I'm Alan Cohn. Fighting climate change locally. Our state and federal governments won't take action, so now municipalities are doing what they can on their own.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
And welcome back, 5:25 on a soggy Tuesday morning.
Well, the stock market will open today at record highs, all due to a surge in tech shares.
And Apple Music has a new subscription plan.
In today's Tech Bites, Wall Street opens in record territory this morning, thanks in part to tech stocks.
Facebook, Netflix, and Apple will open higher. Amazon hit an all-time high at one point yesterday. This as several tech CEOs met with the president at the White House.
And if you subscribe to Apple Music, a new option could save you some money. The music streaming service has added a $99 annual plan.
That, by the way, is about $20 less than what most people pay. And if you have some old gadgets around the house, you'll like this. A working Apple One from 1976 sold last week at auction for $355,000. It originally cost about $600.
A discount. The model, by the way, was hand-built by Steve Jobs himself in his very own garage.
Oh, yes. You've seen it from the movies.
I used to build things like that in my garage all the time.
It's not worth $600. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Chantix.
I'm Thomas, and I quit smoking with Chantix. I was very grateful to have Chantix. At times when I would normally go smoke, I just didn't. It's kind of like, wait a minute, I would normally be running out the door to go grab a cigarette.
Along with support, Chantix Varenicline is proven to help people quit smoking.
Chantix reduced my urge to smoke.
When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Some people had changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, or suicidal thoughts or actions with Chantix. Serious side effects may include seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or allergic and skin reactions, which can be life-threatening. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have any of these. Tell your healthcare provider if you've had depression or other mental health problems. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. The most common side effect is nausea.
Thank you, Chantix.
Ask your doctor if Chantix is right for you. Many insurance plans cover Chantix for a low or $0 copay.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world.
If you get knocked down, stand up again. Rip it up again. Give me one chance, I'm gonna make it. Give me my chance, this is my chance, I'm gonna take
The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom,
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest to support your head, neck, and shoulders, bedside power plugs, under-bed night lights, and more. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-774-8103. That's 1-800-774-8103. Call now.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. What caused an American student to go into a coma in North Korean custody and now pass away days after being released? We'll have the latest.
Plus, a closer look at different accounts of the crash between a U.S. Navy ship and a cargo ship off the coast of Japan.
And a special election in Georgia today is one of the most expensive in U.S. history. We'll tell you what's at stake.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, 5:31 right now. Pretty shot there of the Rosemary District, and then the city skyline in the background. Could be another soggy day today after weeks of drought-like weather. The rain is here. I'm Ray Collins. Good morning.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Let's check in with Wendy Ross, who's in for meteorologist John Scalzi today. How are you doing, Wendy?
Well, I have to tell you that as I was coming through and getting into the station this morning, I noticed how very muggy it is outside. And that's the thing that you'll notice. The first thing when you get up this morning, you're going to see that. First of all, you're going to feel it at any rate. Temperatures are back up into the upper 70s, and the dew point and the humidity is so high, it just feels like you're walking into a wet blanket. So tomorrow is the official day of summer, believe it or not. It's not today. It's going to start tomorrow, but we're already into the throes of it. And we're looking at winds coming in out of the east at around 11 miles per hour. We've been getting a couple of sprinkles around the region, but most of those showers have been dissipating throughout the morning hours. Most of the rain, as you can see, is located well out in the Gulf of Mexico. And we're starting to see some heavier showers now forming. So keep in mind, we are going to be getting some wet weather throughout the day. It's going to be cloudy today, and then the rains come a little bit later, about 1 o'clock this afternoon, with thunderstorms later in the evening. Ray?
Sounds familiar. Thank you, Wendy. There's the roads right now in Manatee County. You'll see State Road 70 pops out right away. A slowdown there in the westbound lane heading toward US 41. We've got some issues now on Bee Ridge around all those orange construction barrels as you get around the Beneva and shade areas. And then South County, nothing much to report at 5:33 on your Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, many questions still surround the horrifying death of American student Otto Warmbier.
He was caught stealing a propaganda poster in North Korea, was held captive, and then sent home in a coma. Reporter Janae Norman has details.
He was the college junior turned North Korean prisoner. Otto Warmbier was enrolled at the University of Virginia when he traveled to the communist country and was captured on video stealing a propaganda poster. State media claiming he was working to defame North Korea as a pawn of the U.S. government. Despite his pleas for mercy, he was sentenced to 15 years hard labor.
Please save my life. Please think of my family.
That confession would be the last time Otto's family would hear his voice. After 17 months, he returned home, but upon arrival, Otto was carried off a plane, unable to walk, talk, or respond to verbal commands.
His neurological condition can be best described as a state of unresponsive wakefulness.
Doctors said they saw no evidence of physical beatings or of botulism, which North Korean officials claim Otto contracted after taking a sleeping pill. But the family isn't buying it.
Even if you believe their explanation of botulism and a sleeping pill causing the coma, and we don't, there is no excuse for any civilized nation to have kept his condition secret.
And just 6 days later, Otto died.
He was in very tough condition, but he just passed away a little while ago. It's a brutal regime, and we'll be able to handle it.
It's not clear what impact his death will have on the already tense situation between the United States and the rogue nuclear power, but at least one top Republican wants to ban tourist travel to North Korea after Otto Warmbier's death. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, police in Europe are on high alert after 2 terror attacks that happened within hours of each other. In both cases, a car was used as the weapon. In Paris, a suspect set fire to a car packed with explosives, then rammed it into a police van yesterday. That's the 5th assault on Paris police this year. The suspect was badly injured and later died after being taken into custody. He was the only one hurt in that attack, but that incident happened just hours after a driver in London plowed through a crowd of Muslim worshippers outside a mosque. One person was killed, at least 11 others injured before the suspect was arrested. Londoners are now creating a memorial at the scene of that crash.
The search for answers continues today, one of the worst U.S. naval disasters in years. The Pentagon says several maritime trackers show the cargo ship made a giant U-turn before hitting the USS Fitzgerald off the coast of Japan. But in a new twist, the cargo company is now saying it didn't have a U-turn and also claims the incident happened 50 minutes earlier than the Navy's account. Meantime, the Navy is releasing the names and pictures of these 7 sailors found dead in the mangled midsection of the ship. They range in age from 19 to 37, their hometowns all across the country. One of them, Daryl Martin's 24-year-old son, Specialist First Class Xavier Alec Martin of Maryland.
It's very hard. It's my only child. It's all I have.
The impact happened in the sleeping quarters, causing those inside to drown.
An update on the shooting that left 5 people injured during practice for the annual congressional baseball game last week. The Alexandria chief of police praised the officers who responded to that call, saying the gunman was stopped 4.5 minutes after the initial call came in.
When an officer shows up, it's a point of courage. Do I drive by and assess the scene, or do I step in and go into a fight? And maybe a fight that I don't know about. These officers got that call, and they answered that call on the 14th of June. I am very, very proud of them, and so is the rest of this police department.
One of the victims of the shooting was House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. His condition has been upgraded from critical to serious. Doctors say Scalise continues to show signs of improvement. In other political news, a special election will be held in Georgia today.
For some, this has grown to be a referendum on the Trump presidency itself. Reporter John Lawrence has this preview.
It's a political battle between former Georgia Secretary of State Karen Handel.
I feel great. Very, very encouraged by things. The enthusiasm on the ground has been amazing.
And 30-year-old political newcomer John Ossoff.
We're taking prudent precautions and appealing for calm, unity, civility, and respect.
Handel and Ossoff are fighting for Georgia's 6th congressional district, the seat held by former Congressman Tom Price, now President Trump's Health and Human Services Secretary. It's the most expensive House race in U.S. history, with the candidates and outside groups spending more than $50 million in the district, which has been a GOP stronghold for decades. More than 140,000 Georgians took part in early voting, and Tuesday's turnout is expected to be strong as well. Political analysts say this election could have implications for next year's national midterms and be viewed as a referendum on the Trump White House thus far. As for residents in the suburban Atlanta district, many, like Steve Light of Roswell, are looking forward to the end of the constant political ads that have been airing for months.
I don't even want to turn on the TV or the radio. Because I don't want to hear the commercials on both sides. I'm sick of both sides.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
An update now over concerns about a potential cyber attack on Florida voting systems. The chief operating officer of VR Systems in Florida says they were never hacked despite phishing attempts. The company provides voter registration software to elections offices. He told election supervisors yesterday that the systems were never compromised, but a leaked National Security Agency report suggested that hackers stole information from the company and used that information to send phishing emails nationwide. The COO stands by his initial comments, saying his company was not involved.
Governor Scott is taking his efforts to bring jobs here up north to Connecticut. He spent Monday there trying to convince employers to move to Florida. Scott says he will go after every company, especially those who don't have big capital investments and can move easily. But all this is not sitting well with the Connecticut governor, Daniel Malloy, and he is fighting back. Doesn't like that. Here's what he says about Florida.
They have a very high violent crime rate. They are subject to devastating storms. They don't have the skilled workforce, particularly in manufacturing, that we have in the state of Connecticut.
Governor Scott passed out a glossy chart that compared Florida and Connecticut, pointing out that Florida has no income tax and a growing population, while Connecticut is shrinking.
Big news for Florida college students. Pell grants for lower income students can now be used for summer studies. The U.S. Education Department says the grants will be available starting July 1st, allowing students to take summer classes and graduate sooner. Demand has grown to make them available year-round as more students are taking summer classes. Students enrolled at least half-time can now get up to 150% of their typical grant amount. Year-round grants were available from 2009 to 2011, but were cut mostly because of funding shortages.
5:41 right now. A Hall of Fame football player has pleaded guilty to DUI charges in West Palm Beach. Police say last fall, former Giants linebacker Lawrence Taylor merged onto the turnpike, sideswiped a motorhome, and then sideswiped, wait for it, a police car. Police say his blood alcohol content was .082, slightly above the legal limit of .08. As part of his guilty plea, Taylor must pay a $1,000 fine, go to DUI school, and perform 75 hours of community service.
The National Flood Insurance Program could soon see a massive overhaul. The program, which aims at providing affordable insurance, is set to expire in September. But multiple U.S. senators are proposing several bipartisan bills as part of the program's renewal. Among the changes is a proposal that would offer low-interest loans for home elevation work to lessen a flood impact. Lawmakers are also considering government subsidies for those unable to pay flood insurance premium increases. But insurance officials say the biggest change is a cut to the current premium increase cap.
With the current program that was redone in 2014 with the Affordability Act, they did cap out the increases for flood insurance policies at 25% a year. With the new reforms that are being looked at, they're hoping to cap it off at 10% a year.
There is also a proposal that would implement a 22% cap on the commissions paid to the insurance companies. Our own Bobeth Yates will have more on this story next hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
Florida fishermen now have more time to catch red snapper in the Gulf of Mexico. The U.S. Department of Commerce has increased the season by 39 days. And the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission changed the state season to overlap with the federal season. The expanded dates include every weekend now through Labor Day, including July 3rd, 4th, and Labor Day itself. The new dates apply for recreational and commercial fishermen in state waters, but only recreational fishermen in federal waters. A quiz will not follow. And some wild video here. A beachgoer in Gulf Shores, Alabama, caught this shark video close to the waterline. Kayla Banks was visiting from Birmingham when she captured this video on her cell phone of a shark entering very shallow waters. It appears the shark was just following a fish. When the shark was spotted, people began to yell, "Shark!" But those in the water didn't speak English. Fortunately, several volunteer firemen jumped in the water and helped them get out.
Wow. Crazy video there.
Close to the beach. Yes.
Oh, man. All I ever think about is Jaws.
Oh, I know.
I can't stop it. I just keep thinking about that. So I see stories like that, and it just reinforces the fear.
Hard not to, just like it, yeah.
And, of course, we'll be back with the forecast in just a minute to let you know what we can expect for the rest of the day.
All right. Well, still ahead, remember the recent controversy over the high cost of EpiPens?
We'll tell you about a new competitor entering the field to help stop life-threatening allergic reactions. That story next in Health Smart.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Did you love yesterday's weather? Because if you loved yesterday's weather, we're going to see pretty much the same thing happening today. We're already getting the clouds, and we're starting to see some rain showers coming on through. Most of the rain that we've had throughout the morning hours are really quite light, but we're starting to see some development out here in the Gulf of Mexico. And of course, that's going to happen later today. We'll start to get the chances of rain about a 20% during the morning hours, but then we continue to up those chances up to 60% by this evening. And then we'll get the thunderstorms coming in as well. 77 degrees right now. Our dew point humidity levels are high. Winds are coming in out of the east, and they're coming in at 11 miles per hour, so they're helping to keep some of those showers offshore. And what we're looking at right now is that temperatures are, for the most part, in the upper 70s right now. Now we're starting to see a few 80s popping up on the map, and we'll be warming up today into the upper 80s. This map is wrong. I'm sorry, we're just going to go through this. We're going to fly through it really fast. I did not have an opportunity to update it. I wish we would be seeing our temperatures in the upper 70s and 80s, but that's not going to be the case today. Upper 80s is what you can expect. What we are looking at is all this abundant moisture moving on into the central Gulf of Mexico, and this is all part of an area of disturbed weather. It is not a tropical system yet, but we are looking at 40-mile-per-hour winds, and we are going to watch it moving on into portions of the central Gulf of Mexico. Tropical storm warnings have now been posted in that area as a result of strong winds that are expected throughout the day. And of course, we've got Tropical Storm Brett. It is going to continue to move towards the west-northwest at around 21 miles per hour, so it's moving through at quite a clip at this point, and that is good news. Small craft advisories will be in effect if you're heading out to the beach today. Winds out of the southeast, 15 to 20 knots. The temperature at the beach is about 86 degrees. 87 is the Gulf water temperature. And what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the day, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms developing, and over the next several days, 80s and 90s, rain all the way through the next couple of days.
All right, thank you so much, Wendy. Taking a look at traffic, some congestion on 301, seeing an increase in traffic as you head southbound, also State Road 70 as you head towards 301. Other than that, Manatee County looking pretty quiet as we head into Sarasota County. Your biggest slowdowns look like they are on Clark Road as you head towards the interstate, and also 41 heading southbound into Osprey. Into South County, some slowdowns around Venice, Business 41, but other than that, no accidents at 5:50 on your Tuesday morning.
In this morning's Health Smart, the FDA has approved new competition for the Epipen.
Simjepi works like the Epipen. It's a syringe pre-filled with epinephrine that helps stop life-threatening allergic reactions. The manufacturer, Adamas Pharmaceuticals, claims its product is smaller and easier to use. It's still working on a distributor, so the price has not been determined, but the company says it's designed to be a low-cost alternative.
Dangerous metals could be found in baby food. The Environmental Defense Fund analyzed 11 years of federal data and found detectable levels of lead in 20% of more than 2,000 baby food samples. Lead can cause problems with attention and behavior, development, and the cardiovascular and immune systems. 5:51 right now. Still ahead, we'll update the day's top local news headlines. And the first family may not have any pets, but the second family sure does.
We'll tell you more about the latest furry additions in the Pence household after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jaffe Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories here on the Suncoast for you today.
The search is on for the two men who held up the Memories Lounge on the North Trail near Myrtle. Police are hoping this surveillance video will help them make the arrest of the armed robbers.
And a shootout breaks out in broad daylight near Newtown. Police are investigating after they say the occupants of two cars began exchanging gunfire on US 41. Luckily, no one was injured, but business was hit by a bullet.
And 240 baseball teams will be in Sarasota County this week for a big tournament. The players are between 15 and 17 years old. The games will be at Ed Smith Stadium's complex and also Twin Lakes, which is out Clark Road.
And I absolutely love this story. Take a look. Vice President Mike Pence and Second Lady Karen Pence returned to Indiana for a visit over the weekend, and they didn't leave before picking up two new family members. The Vice President got a surprise puppy named Harley. How cute, an Australian Shepherd for Father's Day. Just 9 days ago, the Pence family lost their 13-year-old cat Oreo. They also have two other pets, their cat Pickle and Marlin Bundo, the rabbit, who even has its own Instagram. And I have seen them on Instagram. You have to go follow them. They are all adorable. So cute.
They got a zoo in that household.
I know.
Wonderful.
How cute.
We'll update the day's top news headlines, Wendy's forecast, and traffic in 2 minutes. Stay with us.